Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Hell in a Podcast. I am your host, the Link God, Daniel Crimmins. Now, it's been a little bit since my last episode, and I'm going to get into that right now and as to why. I've been dealing with some technical difficulties. My computer kind of crapped the bed, and trying to figure out ways around that so I can get it uploaded and on a more regular schedule, and had to dig out my 10-year-old computer and kind of get that at least somewhat operational. But I am pleased to announce, after much delay, it's happening, folks. It's happening today. It's happening now. It's gonna be good, folks. So, this isn't going to be a long episode, but we've had a lot happen the past few days in the wrestling world. Today, we kicked off the first ever RWT Max Wrestling Podcast promo challenge. So, folks, be sure to check it out. We have some real heavy hitters on this one. And as everybody knows, this past Saturday, we saw NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Amazing show. Honestly, I don't know how you pick a match of the night there. I don't think there was a single bad match. But, you know, that's it's pretty typical of NXT, especially the takeovers. They know how to perform, and they're given the platform to do so. Now, I wish I could say the same for SummerSlam, but I can't. I really can't. Now, I think we all knew going into SummerSlam what it was going to be. I think we knew what to expect. No real surprises. I think if we look at it, let's just go over the card from top to bottom and what occurred. Okay, just pulling this up here. We had Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega against Rusev and Lana. Was an okay match. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. No real surprise that Andrade and Zelina picked up the victory. And, it's kind of sad. Last pay-per-view or show or whatever you want to call it, we had Rusev was going up against AJ Styles for the title. And now he's relegated to the pre-show? Really? Rusev on the pre-show. They are wasting him. He's got the charisma. He's great in the ring. Give him something. Then we had Cedric Alexander defending the title again, the Cruiserweight title, against Drew Gulak. Wasn't a bad match. Cedric Alexander picking up the victory. I'm not sure how long he's going to have the title for or who he's going to drop it to. I've heard rumors that Gargano might be coming up to 205 Live. I hope not. I would rather see him on SmackDown. But, hey, we don't always get what we want. Next up, we had the B Team defending against the Revival. Those were the Raw Tag titles. Of course, B Team picking up the win. This kind of fluke victory seems to be their thing, and it works for now. But at that same time, eventually the fans are going to get sick of it. Then what are they going to do? I hope they're planning for that eventuality. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out. Next up, we moved on to the main show, The opening contest was Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose going up against Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title. Wasn't a bad match. Then again, it wasn't as good as Ziggler and Rollins have done in the past. But we'll see what goes on from there. Then we had the New Day, which this one consisted of Big E and Xavier Woods going up against the Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown tag titles. Wasn't all that great. It was okay. I don't think it was a SummerSlam caliber match, but it was okay. New Day picking up the win via disqualification, and it is rumored that Eric Rowan injured, I believe, his arm. There aren't really any reports yet saying how severe the injury is. It could be something where he could work through it, and that maybe Harper will just have to work the majority of the matches. Who knows? The best thing they could do is if they have to take the tag titles off of the Bludgeon Brothers, I think the best thing to do is do like a triple threat tag team title match and have whoever wins the title pin the other team. That way, when Rowan's fully healthy, you can come back and say that they were never beaten and they can get the tag titles back. So we'll see what happens tonight on SmackDown Live. Next up, we had Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens for the Money in the Bank briefcase, with the stipulation being that had Strowman lost in any way, shape, or form, he would have lost the contract to Kevin Owens. This was the shortest match in the night, clocked in at 1 minute, actually second longest match. This clocked in at 1 minute, 50 seconds, basically a squash, with Strowman winning. After this, we had the triple threat for the SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte Flair versus Carmella versus Becky Lynch. Now, I'm not going to mince words here. I was not a fan of Charlotte being in the match. I would rather have seen Becky versus Carmella. The result of this match saw Charlotte Flair winning a title again. Who didn't see that one coming? Excuse me. So, what now? What happens now? What happens now is Becky Lynch appears to have turned heel. Now, some people are saying, well, it may not exactly have been a heel turn. You'll have to wait and see and find out. I think it would have made sense for Becky to turn heel. I would rather have seen Becky get the win. Just Charlotte, they put her over and over and over again. I mean, she's only been around for, 3-4 years, and she's already held the women's title 7 times. I'm telling you now, folks, Charlotte will be a 16-time women's champion. She's only been around these so few years, and she's already at Trish Stratus' record. Not a fan of it. Just not. Next up, we had what I think was one of the best matches of the night. Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for the WWE title. Amazing match. It was physical. It was brutal. It ended in a DQ with Joe getting the victory, but it told a great story, and it set up for Hell in a Cell. But I would only assume that they're gonna compete again at Hell in a Cell. Hopefully, it will be inside the cell. Anybody that knows me knows that I loved what those two have done in TNA. They had some amazing matches there. Singles matches with just the two of them. They did triple threat with Christopher Daniels, and they lived up to it. I don't know what else to say other than amazing contest. Next, we had Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Miz getting the victory with some trickery. A lot of people are saying Daniel Bryan's not re-signing. I think he is. So I think what we see is them in Hell in a Cell. And I think Daniel Bryan's going to get the victory with that one. Next match, we had the shortest match of the night, clocking in at an astonishing 1 minute and 35 seconds. Yes, folks, that's right. 95 seconds. Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. And it wasn't just Finn Balor, it was the Demon King. Now, I think it was kind of odd for them to bring the Demon King back for this. No advertisement, no nothing. It's just the music cues, the lights, the this, the that. It just seemed kind of odd. I enjoyed it, but it was odd. He, of course, got the win. It said that anytime he is the demon, he's basically guaranteed a victory. You know, it wasn't a great match, but then again, what do you expect with under 2 minutes? Next up, we had Shinsuke Nakamura defending the U.S. title against Jeff Hardy. Not a bad match. Not a bad match at all. Jeff Hardy pulled a stunt. He executed a swanton bomb onto the ring apron, which, if you've ever seen how they've been constructed or put together, or any wrestler will even tell you, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's basically steel. Now, at his age, these bumps hopefully aren't, so frequent. It's been reported that Matt Hardy may very well be done. And I would hate to see Jeff Hardy have to end it so soon. Nakamura ended up getting the victory with something other than a low blow. He actually hit his finisher. So Shinsuke Nakamura retains in 11 minutes even. Next up, we had Ronda Rousey with Natalya in her corner going up against Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. I don't think anybody was all that surprised by this one. What we had happen was Ronda Rousey getting the victory by submission. It was another short match, only 4 minutes. I'm really curious as to see what they do with Ronda as champion. Does she just become another Brock Lesnar, where she just pummels and pummels and pummels people and makes them tap out? I really don't know. So that was that match. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. I don't even know what to say to this one. Nothing happened. That was a real surprise. Once both guys got in the ring, Braun Strowman's music comes on. He comes out, says, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that cashes in from when you're not looking. I'm gonna come after you to your face. So he waited outside the ring. Roman went to spear Brock, went through the ropes, took down Strowman. Lesnar comes out of the ring, F5 Strowman, then chucks the briefcase all the way up the ramp, and it hits the stage. Gets back in the ring, has a chair with him, turns around, Roman spears Brock. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion. I think the thing to be said here was Brock looked pretty gassed. He looked pretty winded at this match was only 6 minutes and 10 seconds. It's clear his priority is his training for his UFC heavyweight title fight with Daniel Cormier. So it's clear that that's where his concern is. So people kind of thought, well, is Strowman going to get up and cash in? And he didn't. SummerSlam went off the air with Roman Reigns celebrating his big victory. Well, good for him. Where this goes from here, I don't know. On Raw last night, we saw not the Demon King, saw regular old Finn Balor challenge Roman for the Universal title. Strowman again saying he was going to cash in after the match. Roman obviously retains. You think we're going to get a cash in. The Shield comes out, surprisingly, and they attack Strowman. I think it's pretty obvious they did this with the intention of trying to get Roman over, get him cheered. However, to me it seemed more like a heel turn. Because Strowman's been white hot. I think the storyline is going to be Strowman trying to get to Reigns, and then his people, his people being being Rollins and Ambrose saving him. That's not a face tactic. That's a heel move. I think it could be pretty exciting to have a heel Shield again. But we'll see what happens. So that was your SummerSlam recap. Another thing I want to get to is happened about a week ago. Dave Meltzer made some remarks about Peyton Royce and how she, quote, wasn't that attractive. I don't get what he's talking about. But with saying what he does can be very harmful to young girls, who already struggle with beauty standards and whether they look a certain way or whatever. And I will tell you, the reaction against him has been very, very swift. Condemnation coming from all over. Peyton Royce herself kind of lit into him. Rollins did. Everybody did. Buddy, I think he really damaged his career, if not destroyed it. But there'll always be people that'll listen to him like he's God. So we'll see what happens. Next up, folks, we have something I want to discuss. WWE 2K19. It's something I alluded to earlier, a couple weeks ago, with Amir Costello, talking about the special collector's edition, or the Woo edition. Every year for the past couple years, they have a special collector's edition with one special person. I think they had the first one was Hogan, then they had Austin, Undertaker, NXT edition. Last year I think was John Cena. Now this year we have Ric Flair. Comes with a Funko Pop figurine. Comes with a piece of one of Ric Flair's robes. A replica WWE Hall of Fame ring, which to me I think is the coolest thing in the world. And that to me was a selling point. That's what made me go, I gotta have this. So of course, I pre-ordered it. And who knows, maybe when I get it, I'll do an unboxing video for you all. It was recently revealed about a week or so ago that the showcase mode was back, and it was going to be Daniel Bryan. which I think is pretty cool. We get him from the American Dragon days up until now. The first match they showed, I believe, was the Velocity match with Cena. So it looks good. I think we pretty much know what we're expecting with this game. It's going to pretty much be 2K18, but with a couple updates. I'm looking forward to it. There's more to come, more nonsense to come. I would imagine the game launches in a little over a month and a half maybe, and we haven't gotten the roster yet. I would expect that within probably the next couple week, maybe next week or so, but we'll see what happens. So folks, that was a quick episode of Hell in a Podcast for you all. Hope you all have had a wonderful day and have enjoyed the show. I'll be coming at you next week, and I'll also be coming at you tomorrow night for my other show, SmackDown and Out, where I will give you the review of the newest episode of SmackDown Live. This has been Daniel Crimmins signing off.